All right, sweeties, this is called a compound inequality. It's called a compound inequality because you have two different inequalities attached by a word, and in this case, the word is or. So before we even look at this word, let's take a look at each inequality individually. What you do is you solve each one completely on its own. So the one that I have here in red is m minus 2 is less than negative 8. In order to get m by itself, you have one step, and that's to do the inverse of subtract 2, which is add 2 to both sides, like so. That gets me m is less than negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. Signs don't flip, nothing like that. The other inequality is m over 8 is greater than 1. In order to get m all by itself, since 8 is dividing m, you multiply both sides by 8. So I'm going to surround you by parentheses. That crosses out. Now m is all alone on the left, and it's going to be greater than 8. Now the word or will not go away. Now what or means in an Algebra 1 sense when you're dealing with inequalities is your m represents any number that could be less than 6 or it could be greater than 8. Like for example, I can pick 0. No, I can't. I can pick 10 because 10 is greater than 8. It's not less than negative 6, but it's definitely greater than 8. I could pick negative 10 is probably what I was thinking. And that would work because it's less than negative 6. It's not greater than 8, but it only has to be one or the other. Now, how do you graph an or inequality? Well, you graph both inequalities on the same number line. All right, so negative 6 and 8 are kind of far apart from each other. So what I'll do is I'll mark this as 0 and then do even numbers, and I should be safe. Like so. Like so. So both of my numbers are a hit. And then you graph each one on the same number line. So m is less than negative 6 means I put a circle at negative 6. I don't fill it in because you don't count negative 6. And you care about all of the numbers smaller than negative 6. So you're going to graph, or rather shade, to the left of it. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I'll just graph the other one on the number line, you're absolutely right. You go to 8, you put a circle there, and you fill in to the right of it. Don't fill in the circle because 8 doesn't count. Now, what these two mean is that I can pick any number in any of these shaded region, and that'll make this a true statement. If I pick 50, 50 will work for the blue inequality, and that's fine. I only need it to work for the blue or the red. I can pick negative 50, and that'll work for the red inequality, and that's just fine. What I said before when I misspoke and said 0 won't work because 0 is not less than negative 6 and 0 is not greater than 8. So basically, negative 6 through 8 won't work. Everything else does. So that's how you graph an or inequality.